Ever feel that deep down exhaustion, like your own body is a stranger, or a sudden fear of losing your footing? It's a common worry. What if one simple, inexpensive vitamin could change that? Stay with me, and if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell us where you're watching from. We love hearing from you. We're going to talk about a true game changer today, a nutrient so fundamental yet so often overlooked, especially as we navigate our later years. It's not some fleeting trend or an expensive fad. It's a cornerstone of genuine well-being for seniors. I'm talking about a shift that can profoundly impact your daily quality of life, turning feelings of fragility into a newfound sense of strength. This is about more than just surviving. It's about thriving and embracing a future filled with vitality and happiness, a core component of successful, healthy aging that starts from within your very cells. It's about rewriting the narrative that aging must equal decline and instead focusing on a path of sustained health and vigor. Think about a dear friend I made, Don Ernesto, a vibrant man of 75. When I first met him, his world had shrunk. He walked with a shuffle, hunched over, each step an obvious effort. A simple walk around the block would leave him breathless, his knees aching, a deep frustration settling in as he felt his independence slipping away. It's a story many of us can relate to, that quiet, creeping feeling that our bodies are no longer our allies. This erosion of physical confidence can be one of the toughest challenges in our journey toward longevity, affecting not just our mobility, but our very spirit and sense of self-worth. It's a slow fade that many just accept as inevitable. But then, his doctor, the insightful Dr. Henry, suggested something incredibly simple. He spoke of a single, powerful vitamin, something affordable and readily available. Don Ernesto, a bit skeptical but willing to try anything, started taking it. Just 3 weeks later, the change was remarkable. He greeted me with a grin that stretched from ear to ear, his posture straighter, his steps more confident. He wasn't running marathons, of course, but the small victories were monumental for his quality of life. He could climb stairs without pausing for breath. His walks were lighter, and most importantly, he felt that beautiful, empowering sense of independence returning. This wasn't magic. It was the science of targeted nutrition at work. The first and perhaps most immediate benefit he felt was a profound strengthening of his muscles and a boost in his overall endurance. This is where this incredible vitamin truly shines for seniors. Many of us fall into the trap of thinking that muscle loss is just an unavoidable part of getting older, a tax we must pay on our longevity. But that's not the whole story. While aging plays a role, a significant part of that decline is often due to a lack of specific, crucial nutrients that our muscles desperately need to stay active, firm, and responsive. It's a key piece of the healthy aging puzzle that often gets ignored in favor of focusing only on bone health or heart health. But strong muscles are the engine of our daily independence. You see, this vitamin is a key player in one of the most fundamental processes in our body, the creation of proteins. You don't need a medical degree to understand this. Our muscles are like living, breathing structures that are constantly undergoing wear and tear. Every single time you walk to the kitchen, climb a single step, or even just stand up from your favorite armchair, you are using and breaking down tiny muscle fibers. To keep those muscles robust and prevent them from wasting away, your body needs to be in a constant state of repair and rebuilding. This vital process requires a steady supply of new proteins, and this specific vitamin is like the master foreman on the construction site, directing the entire operation for better health. Without it, the body's ability to manufacture these essential building blocks slows to a crawl. The repair process becomes inefficient, and over time, the muscles begin to weaken. It's a silent process that you might not notice day to day, but it adds up. This is why focusing on proper nutrition is not just a suggestion, but a critical healthy habit for anyone seeking a high quality of life in their later years. It's about giving your body the raw materials it needs to maintain its own strength, ensuring your physical foundation remains solid and reliable, which is a cornerstone of true well-being. The difference between a weak muscle and a strong one often comes down to this simple nutritional support. But there's another layer to this. The vitamin also has a direct influence on how our muscles contract. Have you ever experienced that unnerving feeling when you're making an effort, say, lifting a bag of groceries, and your legs start to tremble? Or you feel a general weakness, a sense that your muscles just aren't responding with the firmness you expect. That could very well be a sign that your levels of this nutrient are running low. Without an adequate supply, the electrical signals that tell your muscles when and how to contract don't get through properly. The communication line between your brain and your limbs becomes fuzzy, leading to that frustrating weakness or unexplained shakiness. Let's consider the story of Doña Carmen, a wonderful 72-year-old lady who felt that moving around her own home had become an Olympic event. A couple of stairs left her breathless, a persistent ache settled in her legs, and she found herself relying more and more on her family for simple tasks, a painful blow to her sense of independence. Her doctor, the wise Dr. Henry, suggested she have her levels checked and start a daily supplement. The change wasn't overnight, but it was steady and profound. It was a simple adjustment, a small, healthy habit that would have massive implications for her daily life and overall happiness. She was skeptical at first, having tried other things without success, but this felt different. Just 1 month later, she shared her progress with me, her voice filled with a joy I hadn't heard before. She could now walk the full length of her hallway without stopping to catch her breath. She had even started going to the local market again with her granddaughter, an activity she thought she had lost forever. But the most touching thing she said was, "I feel like my body is obeying me again." That single sentence captures the essence of this benefit. It's not just about mobility, it's about reclaiming your autonomy, about feeling in control of your own physical self. This is what true quality of life is all about. It's the confidence that comes from knowing your body is a reliable partner in your journey. Because let's be honest, strength in our legs isn't just a physical attribute. It is the very foundation of our confidence as we age. It's the quiet assurance that we can get up from a chair without assistance, the freedom to walk without the constant fear of a misstep, and the dignity of continuing to manage our own daily affairs without having to depend on others for every little thing. This contributes immensely to our mental well-being and our overall sense of happiness. When your body feels strong, your spirit feels stronger too. It's a powerful synergy that fuels a positive outlook on life and a desire to remain engaged and active in the world around you. This is the real prize of maintaining physical health. So, if you've been feeling lately that your strength is waning, that you're tiring out much faster than you used to, or that your legs just don't have that same dependable get up and go, please don't just write it off as an inevitable part of your age. Don't simply resign yourself to a less active life. It's entirely possible that what you're missing is that one simple, nutritional push that your body is crying out for. And the most wonderful part is that this support is readily available, incredibly simple to incorporate into your routine, and doesn't require you to spend a fortune. It's one of the most accessible healthy habits for promoting longevity. Speaking of healthy habits and holistic well-being, many of you have asked for more comprehensive guidance on creating a lifestyle that supports vibrant aging. That's why we put together our detailed ebook, Wellness and Aging, Valuable Tips for Seniors. It goes beyond single nutrients and covers everything from nutrition strategies to mindset shifts that enhance your quality of life and independence. It's designed to be your companion on this journey. If you're curious to explore more, you can find the link to it in the first pinned comment below this video. It's packed with insights to help you build a foundation for lasting health. Now, let's move on to the second major benefit, something that plagues so many seniors, that nagging, persistent pain in the joints. We're talking about the kind of ache that greets you in your knees, hips, or even your ankles the moment your feet hit the floor in the morning. It's that initial stiffness, that difficulty in taking the first few steps of the day that can set a negative tone for everything that follows. Does that sound achingly familiar? Perhaps you've also felt that uncomfortable creak or crunch every time you attempt to climb a staircase or bend down to pick something up. It's a constant, unwelcome reminder of the body's limitations. For years, many of us have simply sighed and resigned ourselves to this reality, chalking it up to the unavoidable consequence of a long and storied life. It's just my age, we say, as if it's a non-negotiable sentence. But I'm here to tell you that it doesn't always have to be this way. The very same vitamin we've been discussing possesses an incredibly potent anti-inflammatory effect that can bring significant relief. This is a crucial aspect of its power, directly targeting one of the root causes of joint discomfort and contributing to a much higher quality of life. It's not about masking the pain, It's about addressing the underlying issue to promote genuine healing and well-being. How exactly does this work? Well, it acts directly on your body's immune system, helping to regulate the production of inflammatory messengers called cytokines. When your body is out of balance, these cytokines can go into overdrive, creating a state of chronic low-grade inflammation throughout your system, particularly in the joints. It is this persistent inflammation that irritates the delicate tissues, causes areas that should be flexible to harden, and ultimately leads to that all-too-familiar pain when you try to move. By helping to calm this inflammatory storm, the vitamin can soothe your joints from the inside out, fostering better health at a cellular level. And that's not all. This remarkable nutrient also plays a vital role in managing how calcium is used within your body. Now, most of us associate calcium purely with bone health, and while that's true, its job doesn't end there. Calcium is also a key messenger in the way our muscles contract and how our nerves transmit signals. If this mineral isn't properly distributed, it can start to accumulate in places where it doesn't belong, such as the soft tissues of your joints. These tiny, unwanted mineral deposits can significantly increase stiffness and pain. This vitamin acts as a traffic cop, ensuring calcium goes exactly where it's needed, into your bones, and not into places where it can cause harm. Let me share the story of Don Juan, a sharp and witty 80-year-old gentleman who described his morning routine to me with a sigh. Every day, he said, it felt as though his knees had turned into blocks of cement overnight. The simple act of standing up from his bed was a monumental struggle, and his grandson often had to lend a hand to help him rise. It would take several long, painful minutes of shuffling before he could begin to walk with any degree of comfort. This daily struggle was chipping away at his happiness and his cherished independence, casting a shadow over his mornings and affecting his outlook for the entire day. Following a conversation with Dr. Henry, he started a new regimen, a daily dose of this vitamin, accompanied by some gentle stretching exercises each morning. It was a simple change, a new healthy habit that didn't feel overwhelming. A month later, he recounted something that had genuinely astonished him. He was now able to get out of bed with so much less difficulty. It's not like it was before, he told me, a smile lighting up his face. Now it just takes me a few seconds. That, my friends, is what this is all about. It's not about finding a magic cure that erases all pain overnight. It's about these small, incremental victories that give you back your life. It's about winning back your mobility piece by piece. It's about making each day a little less of a struggle, so that getting up, moving around and walking becomes easier and less daunting. If you want to maximize this incredible anti-inflammatory benefit, the ideal approach is to combine the vitamin with some form of gentle movement. Don't worry, you don't need to sign up for a marathon or start lifting heavy weights. Simple actions can make a world of difference for your health and longevity. It's about being kind to your body while encouraging it to stay active. This combination is a powerful strategy for promoting healthy aging. Just a few minutes of walking around your home, a gentle stretching session when you wake up, or even just moving your legs in slow circles while you're sitting in a chair can do wonders. This type of movement, even though it seems minor, is incredibly beneficial. It activates your circulation, helps to lubricate the joints, and keeps your entire body in working order. When you pair this gentle exercise with a vitamin that is actively working to reduce inflammation from within, the positive changes can start to become noticeable in just a few short weeks. It's a powerful 1-2 punch for your joint health and overall well-being. Hey, we're making some great progress here. If you're finding this information helpful and can see how it could improve your daily life, do me a quick favor and tap that like button. It really helps our channel reach more seniors who could benefit from these tips. Let's dive into the third incredible benefit, a marked improvement in your balance and coordination. Have you ever stood up and felt a moment of instability, a slight wobble that makes you reach for the nearest piece of furniture? Or perhaps when you're walking, you sometimes feel yourself sway for no apparent reason, even when you're not particularly tired. Please know you're not alone in this. It's a very common experience as we accumulate more years, but the most important thing to understand is that it's not always a matter of simple clumsiness or a lack of strength. The root of the problem often lies deeper. The issue is frequently found in the complex communication network between your brain, your nerves, and your muscles. And this is precisely where our star vitamin comes back into play. Its benefits extend far beyond just bones and joints. It is absolutely essential for what we call neuromuscular health. Simpler terms, it ensures that your muscles are correctly receiving and interpreting the commands that your nervous system is sending them. Think of it as ensuring the phone line between your body's headquarters, the brain, and the workers, the muscles, is crystal clear without any static or interruptions. This is vital for maintaining independence. This vitamin fundamentally improves the communication pathways between the brain and the body. It helps the delicate electrical signals that travel from your head all the way down to your legs, feet, and stabilizing muscles to arrive clearly and without delay. When there's a deficiency of this nutrient, that communication becomes sluggish and confused. Your muscles don't react as quickly or as accurately as they should. Your legs can feel clumsy or uncoordinated, and your brain doesn't receive the precise feedback it needs to help you maintain your balance. This is a critical factor in preventing falls and enhancing quality of life. This impairment in the body's spatial awareness system is known as an alteration of proprioception. It's a fancy term for a simple concept. It's as if your body is no longer entirely sure where it is in space. This sensory confusion is one of the most common underlying reasons why so many older adults suffer from falls, which can have devastating consequences for their health and longevity. It's not just about weak muscles, it's about a breakdown in the body's internal GPS system, a system that this particular vitamin helps to keep finely tuned. Maintaining this system is a key healthy habit for staying safe and mobile. A perfect example is Don Alfredo. He started to notice that whenever he got up from a chair, his body would drift slightly to one side. It wasn't a dizzy spell or a feeling of total weakness. It was more subtle, as if his legs weren't quite getting the message to hold him steady. His concerned granddaughter bought him a supplement containing this vitamin, and they started a simple daily exercise together. Every morning he would hold onto the back of a sturdy chair and practice lifting one leg for 5 seconds, then switching to the other. It was a small addition to his routine, aimed at improving his active mind-body connection. 1 month later, the results were clear. Don Alfredo no longer swayed when he stood up. He told me with a palpable sense of pride, "My legs are listening to me again." And that's exactly what happens. This vitamin works to strengthen the very nerves that are responsible for our balance and our reflexes. As your nervous system begins to function more efficiently, your body responds more quickly, with greater stability and security. It's a beautiful example of how targeted nutrition can directly impact our physical confidence and safety, contributing to a much higher quality of life and greater happiness. Would you like to stimulate this effect at home? I have a wonderfully simple and effective recommendation for you. Every morning just after you get up, position yourself next to a wall or a sturdy chair for support. Gently try to lift one leg off the ground, holding the position while you stay firm on the other, even if it's just for 3 or 4 seconds. Then, slowly switch to the other leg. This small exercise, which takes less than a minute, actively engages the key muscles that maintain your equilibrium and powerfully reinforces the crucial connection between your feet and your brain. It's a simple exercise, with profound benefits. Please do not underestimate the power of this simple action. A single firm, confident footstep can be the difference between a normal, pleasant day and a fall that complicates everything. A fall can threaten your mobility, your health, and your precious independence, and if you can strengthen that vital neuromuscular connection with something as simple and accessible as a vitamin, why on earth wouldn't you give it a try? It's a proactive step towards safeguarding your future, ensuring you can continue to move through the world with grace and confidence. It's a commitment to your own well-being and longevity. I hope you're enjoying this deep dive into how you can reclaim your strength and stability. If this is resonating with you, why not share your own experiences in the comments below? We can all learn from each other on this journey to healthy aging. Now for our fourth benefit, which is all about energy and combating that pervasive sense of fatigue. Have you ever felt completely exhausted, even after getting what should have been a good night's sleep? You're definitely not the only one. A common complaint among people after the age of 70 isn't always about pain, but rather a constant, bone-deep weariness. It's that feeling of waking up without any charge in your battery, of walking just a short distance and feeling as if your legs are made of lead. This can be incredibly disheartening and severely impact your overall quality of life. And it's not always due to a lack of sleep or an underlying illness. Sometimes the reason is much simpler. Your body is no longer producing energy as efficiently as it once did. And this is where our amazing vitamin once again steps onto the stage. Its role isn't limited to just bones, muscles, and balance. It is also absolutely essential for the process of cellular energy generation. It's a fundamental piece of the puzzle that dictates how much vitality you feel on a daily basis, directly impacting your ability to engage with life and pursue activities that bring you happiness. Inside every single one of your cells are tiny structures called mitochondria. You can think of these as little power plants or factories. Their sole job is to take the food you eat and the air you breathe and convert them into the energy that fuels every single thing you do. But for these microscopic factories to run at peak efficiency, they require a steady supply of this specific vitamin. Without it, the entire system becomes sluggish and inefficient, much like trying to run a factory with a weak or discharged power source. The result is a system-wide energy deficit that you feel as fatigue. That's why, when your levels of this nutrient are low, one of the very first and most common symptoms is a feeling of profound tiredness, a fatigue that persists even if you've been resting well and eating a healthy diet. However, when older adults begin to take this vitamin with regularity, many of them notice a very real and tangible change in their energy levels. It's the story of Marta, a 78-year-old woman who felt that every morning her legs were like blocks of concrete. She would have to sit on the edge of her bed, take deep breaths, and mentally prepare herself before she could even start walking. Her granddaughter, seeing her struggle, gave her the vitamin to take with her breakfast each morning. Within a few short weeks, Marta started to feel a significant difference. Her legs felt lighter, more responsive. "It's like my body turns on faster now," she would say with a bright smile. And her story is not an isolated case. Countless individuals have experienced a resurgence of energy, not through some stroke of luck, but because their cells, properly nourished, are finally able to function at their best again. This is a clear demonstration of how targeted nutrition can directly boost your well-being. Here's a useful tip. If you decide to take this vitamin as a supplement, try to take it in the morning, ideally with your breakfast. This allows you to take full advantage of that energy boost right when you need it most, at the start of your day, to help you move, walk, and concentrate. So, if you're constantly feeling like your energy reserves are depleted, perhaps you don't need more hours of sleep, but rather the right kind of fuel for your cellular engines. This simple vitamin could be precisely the spark your body needs to reignite your vitality and support a more active, engaged life full of happiness. And if we're talking about energy and strength, wait until you see how this vitamin also works to protect the very frame of your body, your bones. Let's move on to that. This brings us to our fifth crucial benefit, strengthening your bones and helping to prevent the dreaded condition of osteoporosis. One of the greatest fears that comes with reaching our 70s isn't just the fall itself, but what can happen afterward. A hip fracture, a broken bone, a complicated surgery, and the potential loss of our precious autonomy. It's a frightening prospect, but the good news is there is a very simple and accessible way to dramatically reduce that risk. It all begins by taking care of your bone health from the inside out. When we think about bones, the first thing that usually comes to mind is calcium. And yes, calcium is absolutely key. It's the mineral that gives our bones their hardness and their structure. But here's something that very few people know. Calcium, on its own, is not enough. It needs a dedicated partner, a guide that tells it exactly where to go and what to do in the body. The vitamin we have been discussing plays this exact role. It acts like the mortar that binds the bricks together, ensuring the structural integrity of your skeleton for long-term health. This vitamin's job is to shuttle calcium directly into your bones and, just as importantly, to keep it there. It prevents the calcium from being lost or from accumulating in places where it can cause harm, like your arteries or joints. Now, it's a natural part of aging for all of us to lose some bone mass. That's normal. The problem arises when that loss becomes so significant that the bones become porous, brittle, and prone to breaking with even minor impacts. This dangerous condition is called osteoporosis, and its most perilous feature is that it often shows no symptoms until a fall occurs and your world changes in an instant. The wonderful news is that consistent intake of this vitamin can make a tremendous difference. Recent scientific studies have demonstrated that taking it regularly can significantly reduce the risk of fractures in older adults. In one major research investigation involving seniors over the age of 70, those who supplemented with this vitamin for several months experienced a 20% lower incidence of hip fractures compared to those who did not. A 20% reduction might not sound like a huge number, but when we're talking about preventing a life-altering injury, it is absolutely massive. It's a powerful tool for longevity. We're almost at the end and your attention has been fantastic. If this is making sense to you, let me know in the comments which of these 5 benefits would make the biggest difference in your life right now. I read every single comment. Of course, as I always say, there are no magic bullets in health. No single vitamin can work in isolation. To maintain truly strong bones, you must combine your supplementation with some form of physical activity. And please don't worry, this doesn't mean you need to start running or lifting heavy weights. Simple, effective exercises like walking at a good pace, climbing stairs, or doing gentle exercises using your own body weight are more than enough to stimulate bone regeneration. This combination of proper nutrition and light exercise is a cornerstone of healthy aging. Think of it this way. Every time you take a firm, confident step, you are sending a message to your bones, telling them, I still need you to be strong. And when you provide them with the right vitamin, they respond to that message. They become denser, stronger, and more resilient. So if you've been feeling that your bones don't have the same solidity as they once did, if a minor bump or fall left you with a lingering ache for days, or if you simply want to be proactive and prevent what has not yet happened, this vitamin could be your greatest ally in your quest for well-being. It works silently, from within, without any fanfare, but its effects are very real and deeply impactful. Now that you understand everything this incredible vitamin can do for you, improving how you walk, reducing your pain, giving you more energy, and strengthening your bones, it's time to talk about the most important part, how to get it. The great news is you don't need to spend a lot of money or search for exotic products. This essential nutrient is obtained in 2 primary ways, naturally through your diet and exposure to sunlight, and through supplements when an extra boost is needed for your health. Both of these options are perfectly valid, and in many cases, they are best used in combination to ensure you're getting enough to support your quality of life. The foods that are richest in this vitamin include eggs, especially the yolk, liver, fatty fish like sardines, salmon or mackerel, and fortified dairy products. If you can manage to eat fish a couple of times a week, add an egg to your breakfast, and occasionally have some liver, you're already building a very solid nutritional foundation. These are simple, healthy habits that can make a huge difference. Your body also has the amazing ability to produce this vitamin all on its own when your skin is exposed to sunlight. About 15 to 20 minutes of sun on your arms and legs each day is often enough. However, we have to be realistic. The time of day, the season, and where you live all play a huge role. During the winter, in regions with less sunshine, or if you spend most of your time indoors, your body's natural production can be very low. This is why for many seniors, relying on the sun alone isn't sufficient to maintain optimal levels for good health and independence. This is precisely why many older adults wisely choose to use supplements. And here's another piece of excellent news. They are incredibly affordable. A bottle containing a month's supply can often cost less than a single fancy coffee. Typically, a recommended daily dose for seniors is between 800 and 2,000 international units, IU. It's always best to start with a moderate dose and, crucially, to consult with your doctor, like Dr. Henry, to see if it needs to be adjusted based on your specific needs. When you're choosing a supplement, look for one in a soft gel or liquid form for better absorption. Before you rush out to buy a supplement, however, there are some important precautions to consider. We've seen all the wonderful things this vitamin can do for you. More strength, less pain, better balance, firm bones, and renewed energy. But like anything in life, it must be used with care and wisdom. Although it is a very safe and essential nutrient, taking it without proper guidance can sometimes lead to side effects. The very first step, before you begin any new supplementation, is simple but absolutely critical. Talk to your doctor, Dr. Henry, and ask for a simple blood test. This will tell you if you truly have a deficiency and exactly how much you need. This is so important because everyone's needs are different. Some of us get enough from our diet and time in the sun, while others have a significant deficit. Furthermore, if you take other daily medications, you need to be aware of potential interactions. For example, certain diuretics used for high blood pressure can cause calcium levels in the blood to become too high when combined with this vitamin, leading to issues. On the other hand, some medications like corticosteroids can interfere with its absorption, meaning you might need more, but always under a doctor's supervision. Never ever start taking high doses on your own, especially if you have pre-existing heart, liver, or kidney conditions. Remember, when it comes to your health, more is not always better. The goal is balance. True well-being comes from a holistic approach, combining smart supplementation with good nutrition, a bit of gentle exercise, and sufficient rest. What a journey we've been on today. We've uncovered how one simple, affordable vitamin can have a colossal impact on your life after 70, boosting your strength, balance, and overall happiness. What's one small change you feel inspired to make after hearing all this? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video, where we'll explore more secrets to vibrant longevity.